Hey everybody, this is Stefan at Lush and Salty Aquariums. How are you this afternoon, this evening, whatever the case may be? We're looking at one of my lushest tanks, the 12-gallon Biotope that was primarily a home for my pea puffers. There's some still in there, maybe the whole colony, but I hardly ever see them because the Biotope is so nice that they constantly are hidden amongst the wood and the roots and all that cool stuff that's hanging from these plants that are growing out of the water, as well as the ones in the water. And of course, that great piece of gnarly manzanilla wood. And I love that. Isn't that cool? Now, I know the puffers are still good because there are dead, or rather, I should say, empty snail shells littered throughout the substrate, a telltale sign that they're feeding. And why wouldn't they be happy? This tank is perfect for them. But you can see the hero is this white or Platinum Betta Splenda that I got online along with a bunch of others which came as a accident. I can update you on all four of his brothers. I got 5 for the price of 1. It's a crazy video. You ought to watch it, how I handled it. But he's one of the best ones I got, and so he gets the coolest home. And that's this one. And he hasn't messed with certainly any of the pygmy cory catfish or the mono shrimp. You see them here. They're becoming quite huge. Again, no surprise. I have a small fraternity of male fancy guppies, basically flame tail, whatever you want to call them, painted. These are all babies from my guppy tank. I took some of them out because what I want to do is put a school of appropriate small tetras. I'm currently considering the green fire tetra, ember tetra. I know that would work, but I already have some in another tank, and maybe a few of the tiny rasbora species. I know that my betta will be fine with them. I think it's overrated that bettas and other fish don't get along. In a tank like this, it should be no problem. But everything in this aquarium is doing super duper good. I'd go in close, I'll give it one chance, but the reflections kick up, you see? And that's so annoying. But let's look at him. So he's already responding to me like a dog would to his owner. He comes up to the top and I feed bloodworms and other treats right there, blackworms. I love live blackworms. I get them from a store in the city of San Francisco. This tank is obviously acidic, soft water for sure with all that plant growth and spiderwood. I also basically don't need to, but run CO2 at a very small dose. You see the bubble, it's like 1 every 4 or 5 seconds. But why not? I have it, and I'm thinking all the roots from these immersed plants are definitely drawing nutrients from the aquarium, so you can never have too much food for great plant growth, at least carbon dioxide. That's a good thing. What else can I tell you about this tank? I haven't touched it since I set it up. I don't know, it's going on 6 months. I just do water changes and pull some of this duckweed out, but I hardly ever trim anything, and I don't feel the need to do anything. And given how much stuff in there, it's nice how clean the substrate is. And I believe when you have a lot of plants, that is a result. You don't get a bunch of nonsense collecting on the substrate because the plants are all eating it. This is my expanding group of crypt parva, I think. It might be parva, the smaller cryptocorn, or it's a similar variant of that. And of course a ton of anubias. That's all that green stuff, which is lodged into the driftwood. And then in the back, I have some jungle veil just to create a wall in the back. It's kind of hardly necessary for that anymore because of all the growth. Now what's cool is if you look at Some of the immersed growth, it's just forming all kinds of wonderful long tendrils. These are air plants. You can get them in any nursery. You just super glue them to your exposed wood. Even I've seen people do it on the lights. I mean, you don't want the heat, but they're just a fun way to add texture and color, create an overall effect. So, things looking good in this tank. If you have any ideas, I'd love to hear from you about what would be a great school to add to it. Given that I have the beta, I can always pull those guppies. Well, that's easier said than done, but I'm not worried about overstocking. My MO is to overstock and overplant and do a lot of water changes. It's just how I enjoy the hobby. All right, everybody, always keep your hands in the tank, and please, for the love of fish, hit that subscribe button. I need 100 subscribers in order to use YouTube's tools to name this channel, etc. And I sure would appreciate it. Bye-bye.